there's evidence that that there are structures all over the world, you've probably heard this, that defy explanation. I mean, there are stones that are cut with laser precision that they had no tools, they had no measuring tools, they had no iron to cut the stones, they had no wheels to carry them. So, and they lifted some of these 20 to 50 to 80 ton blocks up these cliffs, 11,000, foot cliffs, and we still don't know how they did that. This is all over the world. I'm just going to say a few. The Great Pyramids of Giza, the Citadel of Peru, Machu Picchu, Pyramid of the Sun in Mexico, Temple of Kukulkan, Ollantaytambo, I'm probably not pronouncing these right, Gate of the Sun at Tiahuanaco, statues of Easter Island, Stonehenge, Karnak Temple, they all defy logic. And the Citadel in Peru, the scientists say it's proven that these blocks have been melted by some extreme heat and just molded together. And they had no technology like that to do that. So who built these blocks? What do we know about, what have we discovered? Who built them? The Assyrian Babylonian creation story, the Phoenician history, the Popol Vuh of the Mayans, the Book of Enoch, the Vedas of the Hindus, the Avesta of the Persians, the Tibetan manuscripts, the Edda of the Scandinavians, the clay tablets of Glazal, the Celtics, the Incas, the Hopis, the Navajos, the Mindanao of the Philippines, and all of these legends, they all say the same thing. They say gods in flying machines came and moved these stones into place, moved these blocks. But the experts refuse to accept this explanation. It's all there. So I'm just going to say some stuff that we kind of discovered from reading the sacred texts and reading all the legends of these cultures. The Assyrian Babylonian great god Ahura Mazda is shown in a flying sphere. The Egyptians had the gods traveling in skyboats. The celestial boat of Ra was depicted sitting on top of a mountain rising heavenward on streams of fire and smoke. And this is identical to the abode of Yahweh, which also sat on top of Mount Sinai. In India, according to the Vedas, the gods traveled in vimanas that were flying machines. And they believe that they had spaceships. They even wrote about spaceships that could travel to other solar systems and planets. So some of the names for these were celestial chariots, heavenly chariots, flying vehicles, and even aerial cities. And that's the evidence. That's looking at sacred text, legend, cultures. So now let's compare this. This is what I like to do, and this is what I did in my book. I compare this information with the channeled material that we all know, that we've all read. Dolores Cannon, Edgar Cayce, some of the great people who have sat and channeled or have gone into past life regression or hypnosis, and there's a lot of those out there. And so I'm just going to name a few that we're going to look into, including Edgar Cayce, Dolores. There's the Urantia book, which I read from front to back, the Keys of Enoch, the Hindu Vedas, and the Hindu Vedas is not channeled, but we're going to go look into that a little bit more, and then the Atlantis material. So what do they all have in common? They all talk about creator gods, and they call them the Elohim. And Zechariah Sitchin, who translated the Sumerian tablets, he's one of my great teachers as well. He said that we were genetically enhanced Neanderthals and improved through direct genetic intervention. So the strange part about this, if you go back even further, is that they all talk about us being androgynous beings. And that's talking about millions of years ago, before there was any life on the planet. The oldest and most sacred religious texts in many cultures talk about creation masters or angels who initially chose Earth for their new creation. And they were androgynous beings who took power into their own hands. And when the earthly kings gave them gifts, they gave them their daughters as gifts, they decided to physically procreate with them. They saw them as so beautiful, and they decided, some of them, I'll go to that in a second. It's even in the Bible. It's in the Book of Enoch. There's a couple sentences you'll see in the Bible that talk about it, that they mated with the humans or the Nephilim, took wives that they chose. And here's the thing that they all talk about. This was not really allowed by the Council of Light or the Elohim. This was kind of against the rules. So the Elohim banished these beings, banished them to be on the earth and incarnate as human beings. Now, this isn't just one place I found this. It's all over the place. It says that because of this, they were banished from the higher worlds and had to give up their immortality. Not only did they lose their androgyny, but they had to return to the process of human evolution and incarnate as human beings. In many sacred texts, these beings were called the fallen gods.